Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain.
I think it's time that we all face the fact that Rocket League is a game of mechanics. And don't try to tell me that I'm wrong. I have 50,000 hours in this game, and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I can hear it now. Oh, game sense, oh, rotations. No, all that matters in this game is whether or not you can hit a flip reset or a ceiling shot. Nobody gives a shit if you know when and how to properly drive in a circle around the field. Like, that's just so boring and useless. So I thought I'd bring you guys the sequel to my much beloved, much viewed video on the craziest Rocket League mechanics. A lot has happened since, when was this? Holy balls, this was over a year ago. Geez, a year in video game years is like 10 years in real life, I feel like. Since then, we've seen new mechanics, old mechanics perfected, Psyonix nerfing some hilarious mechanics, Epic Games buying Rocket League in hopes that they can have a real esport on their platform. Anyways, here they are, 10 more mechanics that you may or may not have heard of. Now pay attention, gamers, there may be some that you need to go work on in free play when this video is over. Let's start things off with a mechanic people discovered actually about a year ago called the ceiling shuffle. And I have to include the reverse ceiling shuffle as well. If you're wondering, that is the ceiling shuffle just done in reverse. You may have missed this one as it really doesn't have much use outside of freestyling and really just trying to do cool things with your car. I don't expect to see this one showing up in RLCS anytime soon, the way that a lot of these other mechanics have. Basically, you jump up towards the ceiling and you land kind of cockeyed on 3 of your wheels. And you know, this is really all about the landing, because if you don't have the landing right, it's not gonna work. And basically after that, you're just pulling your analog stick back and forth, you know, kind of to the side, switching back and forth and sort of making your car like rock along the ceiling, and it just kind of sticks there for some reason. You don't need boost. It's really, really weird. Number 9 is a mechanic that high-level players do sometimes, mainly just for fun. Squishy originally released a video proposing that it could be better than the half flip, or you know, just quicker and like a quicker way of getting your car turned around. Basically, you do a typical forward wave dash, except you don't tip your car back and wave dash when you land, you tip your car forwards a little bit, and you just sort of like wave dash the front of your car directly into the ground, and then turn your car when it like sort of bounces on the ground. Now, it's easy to see mechanics like this as useless until the moment comes along where a high-level player has done it enough, and for whatever reason they're in a situation, you know, in a challenge, in a recovery, and they just instinctively do it. In the end, for me, it's really all about car control and understanding what you can do with your car, even if mechanics like this that are kind of weird and difficult don't necessarily have specific uses in game. Just learning more things with your car makes you a better player, and it makes you a more creative player. Number 8 goes to a mechanic that I was shown a while back that we called the Jaywalk. Basically, it looks just like the ceiling shuffle, except it's on the ground, and it's actually super difficult. It's safe to say this mechanic isn't going to be winning you games anytime soon, but yeah, it's pretty funny, and you can just watch this video to kind of get an idea of how to do it. It sort of looks like, you know, you're driving like a drunk Rocket League car or something. Number 7 goes to this crazy mechanic discovered about a year ago by Helvetia Gaming, who just so happens to be a coach on Gamers Ready. So if you want to have the man himself teach you how to do this, he probably could. Anyways, he calls this like a ground flip reset. Basically, it's a way to get your car off of the ground while keeping the dodge, as if you're like falling off of a surface instead of jumping. And it really started when he saw someone doing a wheelie in Rocket League, so he tried to recreate that wheelie, which wasn't necessarily that difficult, but then he discovered that this wheelie could be turned into an aerial where your dodge isn't even lost. Now, I personally haven't mastered this mechanic, and honestly, I'm surprised pros haven't tried implementing this more, as it really does have its use. Like, I could see this being super useful. Sometimes it takes a long time for these things to be implemented in competitive gameplay. It honestly will just take one person pulling this off before people start trying to really master it and really make it quicker. The problem with this mechanic is that it's almost like only going to be used as a pre-jump, like a pre-jump pass play. It's not really something that you can just quickly jump off the ground. And so it seems like pros have just sort of seen speed, you know, and like reaction time off the ground as more important than having your dodge, you know, like a limitless dodge. But anyways, number 6 goes to an aspect, like a specific aspect of flip resets, and namely the idea that it's actually possible to jump off of the ball when all 4 tires land on the ball. Now, you may think that this is useless, and I've tried it before, and I can do it, but I don't really see how I could implement it. But we've seen its use in that Squishy Muffins managed to use it at the World Championship for RLCS day 1 in Season 6, where he got a flip reset on the ball and jumped off of the ball to then dodge back into the ball as it was challenged. So he basically used it as a way to block the ball more powerfully. So try this sometime for fun, and let us know in the comments if you can think of an area where this could work, you know, besides the way that Squishy Muffins used it. For me, it feels like when I jump off the ball, I'm too far away from it to do anything, but maybe you could get a flip reset like on the top of the ball and jump off. I don't know, who knows. Number 5 is a mechanic that's become very popular among high-level players, and it's basically a forward flip cancel, similar to the way the first part of like a backwards half flip works, except this is like a forwards half flip, and you use it to like hit into the ball. It's pretty simple, but it's difficult to execute properly at first. It doesn't really cause you to hit the ball any harder, but it's really all about positioning after you hit the ball. It's not like you should do this every time, and it's really more instinctive for you after you've done it and tried it a lot. Like, it could be used to set up double touches off the wall and, you know, position your car in a better way than if you had dodged traditionally. And it's also good for like specific redirects. Good one to practice and learn. You know, just go watch the pros play and free play for a little bit and you'll see them using it and you'll see the way that they use it. Number 4 is a variation of one of the mechanics that I talked about in the last video, and it's basically tornado spinning, but specifically since that video came out, it's the use of tornado spinning for air dribbling. So people like Gainer and LED or LED or whatever you call them, those are really like the air dribbling world record holders, especially LED. They all use tornado spinning, both to the left and to the right, to stay under the ball in ways that regular air dribblers like just can't using normal air roll. So I think this started a while back when people like Bluey and Justin, players who had really incredible car control, they would use tornado spinning to set themselves up under the ball in certain ways, but they didn't keep tornado spinning that often, like under the ball the way that Gainer and LED have. All right, number 3 goes to the Musti Flick. And again, everybody knows about this by now, but I want to point out a somewhat different recent phenomenon with Musti Flicks, and that is using Musti Flicks in the air. So either you go to set up an air dribble and you just tip your car back and flick it like off of the aerial, or maybe you get a flip reset and then use that dodge under the ball to like spank the ball off the backboard. People have been doing a lot of Musti flicking in the air, and it's understandable why. It's super effective, but again, it's really difficult. Just like learning regular Musti Flicks on the ground is really difficult. Getting like the idea and really the hang of using it in the air is very difficult. Number 2 is a mechanic that I believe has been removed from Rocket League. I went and tried to do it again, and you know, I used to be able to and now I can't, so I think that I read somewhere that they removed it. But basically, you used to be able to connect the bottom of your car with the ball when you had spikes in Rumble, and then just jump over and over again, and you just go flying up in the air with the ball without needing to use boost or anything. But alas, Psyonix removed this because I don't know why, honestly. It wasn't like this mattered or was like a real exploit, really. It was just funny and fun and made Rumble, I don't know, no one ever actually did it in Rumble, at least as far as I've seen. All right, guys, number 1 goes to the newest, shiniest, hottest mechanic in the game right now, and that is the Preflip. This mechanic has become the cause of much hype, even to the extent that people are creating their own gangs around it. Yes, there are Rocket League gangs. It's a scary time to be a Rocket League player. The big question is whether or not this mechanic is actually useful. It's hard to deny that it is, though, for me, because I've just seen some incredible shots using it. Now, in case you're wondering what this is, basically it's a type of dodge where you basically flip your car really early, hence the name Preflip, and you actually hit the ball at the end of your dodge when your car is on its way up. So you can do some pretty crazy redirects and challenges and shots using this. Players like Musti and Verge and OSM and Jazer, they've all done some pretty awesome shots, and I actually think the mechanic was really popularized and maybe even invented by someone named Pulse Fuser. I could be wrong about that, but I've never been wrong before, so I don't know why I would worry about that now. Who won the League of Rockets World Cup tournament?
I want to say Finland.
Yeah, Finland won.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the USA. Finland will have to go home. The runners up.
All right, guys, thanks for watching this one. I hope that you enjoyed it, and maybe some of you have learned some stuff that you can go try out and free play yourself. But before we end the video, I wanted to bring something to your guys' attention. In case you didn't know, Sunless was nominated for the Esports Content Creator of the Year alongside some of the biggest people, like some of the biggest guys in Fortnite, some huge YouTubers and streamers. So I put a link in the description below where you can go and vote for him to win. So we all need to do everything we can. The Rocket League community needs to come together and try to make this happen. So make sure if you love Rocket League and you love Sunless, or even if you don't, check out the link below and go vote for him, because it'd be a really cool way to get Rocket League in the spotlight. And honestly, in my opinion, he's a way better content creator than anybody on there in terms of just like creativity. So make sure to do that. All right, guys, much love, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.